Welcome to Cosmic Connections 101, a podcast by two sisters speaking about all things related to personal growth, self-love, and spirituality. Join us every episode as we discuss the secrets of the universe, energetic connections, consciousness, and navigating the 3D world with a 5D mindset. Take a deep breath in and out. Now let's get started.
Welcome, pod people. Jo here.
I'm Kel, and this is Cosmic Connections 101.
101. Oh my God, did we just sync it?
I don't feel like we did.
Oh, I think
like
we nailed
I said
it.
it first and you were second. I don't know.
We nailed it.
Yeah,
Let's just go with that. And today, episode 6, we are talking about your most favorite subjects on Earth.
Yeah.
Which is
astrology, which is funny because it's all about the stars.
Gotta love
like
the stars.
favorite topic on Earth is about the stars.
You fully got into this like I don't know, you used to like it, but then you went real in. Like, when did that happen? Like, what happened? Like,
well, I can pinpoint exactly.
Was it after a meltdown?
Yes.
How interesting.
It was after what I call my 2020 existential crisis.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, I wish that I was more studied around astrology. Like, I do wish that I was an expert. I wish that I was at that point where I could do chart readings for people and feel comfortable and confident in it, but I'm still like very much a beginner. But the reason I started learning about astrology was because I felt very much lost and disconnected and confused. And even though I was very much along on my spiritual journey, I just felt like there was something that I wasn't understanding. And
needed an anchor?
Like there was something that was missing and that I just didn't understand about myself. And I found out about astrology and birth charts. And obviously growing up, everybody knows what their horoscope is. Like, that's what you hear of, horoscope and zodiacs, or even constellations, which they're not the same as if you're talking about astrology. But I knew that I was a Capricorn, and that's it. And when you think of a Capricorn, there's those stereotypical checklist things. They're dedicated, hard worker, loyal, like a list. Money. Yeah, like all of this kind of, generic stuff. Yeah. And so that's just what I thought about star signs. And then, I was going through like a lot of personal stuff and was just sort of searching for something to connect with to help me, I don't know, like feel less confused about life. And I discovered the Leo King. Do you remember?
No,
I was in my Leo King.
You're so fucking obsessed.
In my Leo King phase.
That's part of your Capricorn, right? You get obsessed about
just
things.
Like I go down the rabbit hole and then I just obsessed.
You're invested.
So the Leo King, and his platform, High Vibe TV, I used to just listen to every single day. He would have his daily readings and stuff like that for each of the star signs, and it really helped me understand the difference between just what your star sign is and a birth chart, and why it's important to learn your birth chart and your placements of your planets and how it impacts your daily life. And so for me, over the past few years, it's just really, really helped me become more just in tune with who I am, why I am the way that I am, and feeling more comfortable in my skin, because it's a way for you to just really understand your psyche,
know thyself.
Yeah. And that's all, like, when you're on a spiritual quest kind of thing, when you're on the journey,
what you're trying to do.
That's what you're trying to do. And this is a literal blueprint. It's like a map for you to be able to, it's like a shortcut essentially to figure out why you are the way that you are, and then how to work with the energies that you have in your birth chart for your everyday life.
Yeah, it's like an operating manual.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like how to work with your own energies at particular times.
Yeah.
Kind of like women, right? With your cycles of the moon, there's certain 100%. Times during that where you should be doing more, there should be less.
Yeah.
So, and this is like a yearly thing, right?
Yeah, it depends as well what your moon sign is in terms of that, because the moon is the feminine energy. And so, for example, our cousin Jaleesa, she is a Cancer moon, so she has to pay more attention to the moon cycles because it directly impacts her. Because the moon in our birth chart and in astrology is connected to our emotions. So for Jel, her having a Cancer moon means, Cancer is a water sign, very emotional, very, can be very erratic or very just controlling and all of these kinds of
Oh, that
feelings.
sounds, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, it's like it's really advisable for her as a Cancer moon to actually pay attention to the cycles of the moon, because sometimes she may need to retreat like the crab
Yeah,
and like be in her shell and be at home. And then there's other times where she'll want to be with community and like, she just really does need to pay attention to that. But Joe, you and I are both Aquarius
Aquarius.
moons, but we have very different kinds
Different
of
Aquarius.
experiences with our Aquarius moon,
Oh,
because I feel like you are more guided by your sun sign, which is
yep,
Libra, and your rising sign, which is Gemini. So
yep.
Jody is in her big three. That's what we like to call the big three: is your sun, your moon,
In the
and your
biz.
rising. So you
All the
maybe I
air.
should just like go, to very, very basic. So if you have the knowledge, like information from your mum of your
Because
birth
dads
time,
don't usually remember.
no, they don't. Your birth time, birth location, and your birthday. Then you add these into like a birth chart generator, and you can find out what your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign are. And so these three signs are just ways that you kind of navigate the world. So
So say if
your
you don't know your time,
well, you can still do
get
no
a generic.
time. Yeah. And I know
Mm,
that this is where I feel like I'm a novice still, but there
yeah.
are ways where you can calculate what your probable rising sign is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've got a thingy marked, as a reading. Like I got to go back and read so that we can do that for a couple people
And
that we know.
socials.
But yeah, so when you have your sun, moon, and rising sign, it's kind of like, you're broken up into three sort of personas. So your sun sign is more like your armor and your protector, and your rising sign is how the world sees you, and your moon sign is your emotional self. So your sun sign often, wants to protect your emotions because that's where you're most vulnerable and you're likely to get hurt, right? So, it's just interesting because, I'm a Capricorn sun. So I want to, like, by nature, I'm more of a stoic person. I'm not really emotional. And Joe, you're a Libra. So you're all about that romantic kind of, lovey-dovey kind of
Love and
stuff,
balance.
like
Best movies
romantic
ever. Rom
movies, like
coms.
rom-com. Yeah, like I just
Books.
can't
Some books that I'm reading
even.
right now. Romance.
Oh
Not
God.
Mills and Boons solid. Come
It
on.
just
I'm a
to
bit
me,
upmarket
like
and it's
I
vile to you. I
appreciate,
know.
but for
And when
me,
people meet us, hey, they just think that I'm
that
more of
you
the
would be,
masculine side and I would hate the romance.
yeah,
And you would be so into it because you're like way more girlier and just more gentle. You seem like it just seems so opposite, but
exactly.
it
But you're the
really
one, like,
is.
there's only a couple of romantic movies that I love, which is like Never Been Kissed and The Wedding Singer. Like they're the two that I just love to death. But all the
I
other
know another
ones,
one.
which one?
10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah.
See, I know you, bro. Heath, we all love Heath. Come on, go, bro.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, they've got to be
But
really good for you to like them. I know.
yeah, but that's the funny thing and the interesting thing that I find confusing sometimes is we both have an Aquarius moon, but just that
I'm not
just yeah, the
Aquariusy.
display of that kind of softer side and is very different for us. And that all comes down to your birth chart. So people who don't know about a birth chart, they just go off of their sun sign and they're confused because they're like, how can all Libras be having this one experience
Exact
at the
thing.
same time? Like
Yep.
it doesn't make sense to them. And it's like, well, yeah, because that's not actually what's happening. So when you're born, you have everyone's born at a different time at a different location. Like no two people are ever going to be the same, even twins, because they're not born at exactly the same time.
Yep.
They're born minutes
There's
apart.
slight variations.
Yeah. And then
And
there's the
the
really
universe is moving, right? So
yeah, it's like an imprint of the energy of where all the planets are at that exact time when you're born is imprinted onto your birth chart. And that is the energy of how you are incarnated into this life. And so for me personally, I just really believe that that astrology is the language of the universe. Like, it's the language of God. That's how deep I feel astrology, because it's in everything. And yeah, like, it's just the stars are speaking to us, and it's the way that we can have a fulfilling life here. Like, if you really understood your birth chart and the people around you, like, think of how harmonious your relationships would be, because you get it. It's like, all right, well, Jaleesa is a Cancer moon, and it's currently, like Aries moon. So she might feel a bit fired up and want to have a fight. And you know what I mean? Like, it's all that kind of
Is
stuff.
that
So it's like,
true, Jill?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then
We
for
vouch,
her,
yes.
she can be like, oh, okay, I'll make sure that I don't let things get to me as much as I normally. She has a lower tolerance for stuff. So she'll just remove herself from a situation where she won't be fired up. Like certain stuff like that is a prompt for you to be able to just have a better quality of life and relationships with people around you. So
so
for
cool,
me,
though.
yeah, it's like such a fascinating topic, because
There's so
everybody,
many variants, man.
yeah,
This is
like,
why it takes forever to learn this stuff, because
yeah,
there's so many reference points, stuff to learn. Then, when you talk to me about bloody nodes and
yeah,
Chiron and
the
all that, I'm
North
like, mate, I
Node.
can't remember. I
Yeah,
need to make notes. But when you tell me what they are and then I read about mine, I'm just like, holy shit, how does it
yeah.
know? Because it's
And
really, really me.
yeah, it's really, really you, and it's spot on. And it's like
Thank
the
God
people.
Mum remembered our times
Yeah,
that we
I
were born.
know. I'm so lucky. Like with Cohen, my son, he's born at exactly 6 p.m. So that's easy.
Easy, easy
Like, I'm
peasy.
sure I
I
would
love it.
remember anyway, but it like makes life easier. And he knows when he's born, so he can, like, even though he doesn't believe in astrology yet, he
Super
knows
fascinating.
his info, so he can look it up in the future. But
Super fascinating.
I just wish that we were at kind of a point, and I feel like eventually it might be like this, but where even schools and jobs, they are aware of people's astrology and their birth charts and human design, so that we can be accepted for who we actually really are. Like, you don't have to try and have a persona, like a work personality and a private personality, because it's like all in your birth chart. So for
What's
me,
interesting,
yeah.
just on that, right? I think, I've worked in government for a very long time, but each place you work at, they always do those personality tests, right?
And that's more
It's just their
accepted,
version
isn't
of
it?
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
their
like,
version of it.
yeah, if they can have
They
them in
ask you all these
categories.
questions because
Mm.
they think it's based on the personality stuff, but it's like it's really the deeper meaning is all the blueprint stuff you're talking about. Like if you wanted to really help
Because your answers would be reflected by
in the
your
thing,
personality, which is your birth chart.
we
To
need to
just
make any birth certificates have your fucking time of birth on them.
Oh, 100%. And like, I wish
It's
that
important.
kids enrolling into school, like that their teachers would know like their birth chart, because like the
Yeah.
way that they would interact with kids would be so much different. Because some kids who, like, for me as an example, as a Capricorn growing up, I was very quiet and, just like I said before, more stoic, more shy, more reserved. Like, I don't let anybody into my inner circle. Like, I can be friendly with everybody, but I prefer a small group, a one-on-one, maybe two people. That's my comfort level. But teachers, they just expect all kids to be carbon copy. Everyone can jump into a big group of people and it's all fine. And
No individual learning.
yeah, so
And,
if there
and it's
was,
like it'll be a brilliant cheat sheet. This is how such and such you can relate by this and this. It'll be
yeah.
amazing. You need to
And
manifest that into your next grid
yeah,
work.
I wish that, yeah, it could be a thing, because it would just make life at school for kids so much easier. It's like the kids who are more outgoing, like Libra Sun and Gemini rising, like
I,
you
I do love to be
guys
social.
are the people who can help the introverted people who are more like the earth signs, like me and, Virgos and Tauruses, who are more reserved but have a lot to offer. But we aren't going to be the ones necessarily to speak up in the group chat first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like we need the people like who just naturally want to speak out and be more friendly to lead the conversation, and then we feel comfortable after that. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
just even group projects like that at school would be helpful if they like made
If
sure
they
that there
knew how
was
to balance it.
an air sign like a Gemini rising, talk your face off, and then have
Soz.
someone like that in the group to bring everyone together and make everyone feel comfortable. Because even like with my niece, your daughter Jody, how
Yep.
she loves the fact that you can talk to anybody and is amazed at the fact that you can make small talk. Because for people like
Yeah.
us, when I was growing up, I hated that. I hated that mum would just talk to everyone, like because
Kiara,
I couldn't.
Kiara, like, she's more like she doesn't hate like what you did. It's like, oh God, here she is talking again, because you just want to get home to your place,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
safe spot, right?
yeah.
Kiara's like you in that, but she's also sits there and she's just fascinated because she's like, how are you even having conversations with random people?
Like, how do
Like,
you know what to
how are you
say?
even talking? Like,
Yeah,
how do you even get to that? And I'm
yeah,
like, no, because I love people. So like, I'll just start a convo with someone I'm walking past because I'll just go, oh, mate, I really love your shirt.
yeah,
Kiara's like, I'll think it. No way am I saying it.
yeah.
I'm
And
like,
see,
but
yeah, go.
I was just gonna say, but it's like it could be like it's just showing kindness and it's just a convo starter and it could have made his day. I don't know. So
Yeah.
because I would love it.
And I
I
was
said,
going to
no, I
say
always talk to people.
that's the way that like both of our Aquarius moon comes out in that way. It's like because it's a humanitarian vibe of
Yeah,
like wanting to include people and make them feel good about themselves. And
connected.
that's the way that we do that is by like, G'ing people up and gassing
Yeah,
them up and like being like, yeah, that's a cool bag. I love that.
yeah.
And
There's
it's
a lad that
comfortable.
was, at the glasses shop and he's sitting there. He's at work and I come out of Priceline and I just went, oh no, I got to go tell this lad that he's smashing his style today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
how
See,
embarrassing.
I'm like that too, and it's like I
You might
love
grow.
being like that. Yeah, like I'm
What's
always like
Kiara's
that
moon?
too. Pardon?
What's Kiara's moon?
She's a Leo moon.
Uh,
Yeah, which is, that's I feel like that's
that's for
such a
later.
beautiful moon to have because Leos are the heart.
She'll
So,
grow into that.
yeah, so having the heart like a Leo as your moon sign, which is emotions, that means like, you're a deep carer and
Yeah, she really is.
but it also could be selfish too, like
Yeah, she is. So that's what I mean. It's like you go through cycles,
Yeah, yeah. You
right?
you
Even
grow
with
into
your
your
own
birth chart,
signs.
yeah, because it's like, you have transits. So for me, at the moment, like I said, I'm a Capricorn. So in my younger days, I was like a full-grown adult, and I'm feeling now more I resonate with my rising sign, which is Pisces. So I'm more playful and dreamy and just, like I feel more myself now than I ever have. And I'm definitely like, I love small talk with people now. I love making connections with people and just being fun and lighthearted and not taking everything so seriously, But that's taken, like, how old am I now? 39?
39, mate.
39?
Come on now. That's that old age creeping up.
So, it's like it's taken that long for me to get to a point where like I love talking to people and I love having just conversations that lead nowhere. Because like I, as a Capricorn, am a deep thinker and everything would always be so serious. And I really
Hmm.
found it hard. Like it's so stupid to say out loud, but I would have a hard time trying to have fun and just lightening up. And everything was always just so serious to me. Even though like growing up, I played softball and I was with friends and I had fun times, like you wouldn't
Still a
see it in
very
my
small
face.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah, like my face wouldn't show you how much fun I'm having. It's like rest
See,
in
I
peace
feel
face.
I feel like I'm heading into that part, like your old
Yeah.
part, where like I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to feel like super serious, and I need to
Yeah.
relax. And
And that's because of the transits, as like the years go on. Like, yeah, we have our birth chart, but then everything is going along with what's happening in the sky. So those energies impact
what
us
does
on
transit
the
mean?
daily. Like it's just movement. So at the
So it's
moment,
happening constantly, right?
yeah, like I haven't off the top of my head, forget what your transits are, but I'm pretty sure you got like a lot of like Capricorn and Scorpio energy
Oh,
happening. Yeah,
see, this
yeah.
is what I'm
That
saying.
makes
It makes
sense.
sense because how
Yeah,
you're explaining yourself, how you felt when you're younger, like that's
yeah,
how I feel that I'm going.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that?
And that's why, because you feel like a bit of a disconnect to who you used to be, or it's like I used to
Yeah, I
love
feel like
going
a
out,
different person.
yeah, having like catch ups with mates, and now it's like you're
Ugh.
more of a hermit, and that's
Yeah,
like that
I like
kind of
it
energy.
every now and then. Like, I still love people, and when I am out, like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But to get me there, sometimes I don't really want to now.
Yeah, but before you used to kind of want to be doing stuff all the time,
All the time.
7 days a
Yeah,
week. And for me
yeah,
and
constant.
for, that would be exhausting. Like even still, even though like I'm more social now, I still
Yeah.
need my alone time and I need to charge my social battery. Like for real, I really feel like drained if I don't.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
need my own space.
So with the big three, right?
Yeah.
Are you more of one at particular times because of these transits and movements, or is it they kind of stay where they are, but it's the planets and things that shift
Well, I
how you're
feel
feeling at a certain time?
Yeah, I feel like it's a combination of everything. And I just feel like it's
This
also
is why it
where
gets
you're at in
confusing,
your
eh?
life. Yeah, it's like, you draw onto certain things that help you in your surrounds.
Journey.
So, yeah,
Hmm.
for example, when I hope she doesn't mind, but my spiritual mentor, Anna Lee, I
You
know
know
she
she
won't
doesn't
mind.
mind. She'll
Yeah, she's,
listen as
yeah,
soon as she can.
that's all good.
Love you,
So
Anna Lee.
yeah, we do. So she's a Leo sun, and that helped her a lot growing up at school because it's like helps with social connections and being outgoing and fun and everything like that. So it's like she would rely on the energy of her Leo moon to
Wait, is
be
she a sun or a moon?
did I say moon?
You said, yeah, sun, and then you said moon.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a Leo sun. So she would rely on her Leo sun to get her through her teenage experience of being social and outgoing and all of
A
that.
leader.
Yeah, and just, being comfortable. But even though, she always kind of there's that feeling that all of us star seeds have of like kind of not really fitting in and having
Yep.
like, like just it is like a mask in a
Little
sense,
left. Yep.
So she would tap into her Leo sun energy to be this person day to day.
Persona.
Yeah. And, stuff like that, where it's like we lean into the energy that suits us at the time. And so when you're more, I feel like in alignment, you just gravitate towards the energy that's most comfortable for you. So for you at the moment, it is what transits you're going through because all intents and purposes, you aren't a Libra at the moment, like life of the party.
Last night I was.
Oh yeah, but
My
in
work
doses,
farewell.
that's what you're saying, small doses, right?
But
Normally
in
you'd
the
be like, all right,
morning,
well, what are we doing tonight as well?
no,
Where
in
are
the
we
morning
going?
though, right? Even though I was coming up and I love my guys and the wives and I wanted to see them, in the morning I was like, oh, I so don't want to do this.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's like hermit energy. That's earth energy. So
Yeah. And then
it's
going towards the time frame, then I was like, oh, no, okay, yeah,
amp up a
nah, I'm
little.
going. And then when I
Yeah.
got there and I seen people and I'm around people, then I'm Libra.
Then you're
Then
Gemini rising, Libra sun
I'm in
kicks
my
in.
world.
Yeah. And see, so
Oh,
like that's because of your transits that you're currently going through. And
interesting.
it's like everything as well, like you're tapping into the collective energy too, of like everyone might at the same time feel that lull of hibernation. We are going into winter. So we are impacted by the seasons as well, in the
100%.
southern hemisphere we're going into winter, so it's like we're all going to feel that wind down energy soon, like Cancer season, like that's when
But
everyone wants to be home.
just a observation, because I didn't actually know that about Anna Lee,
Mm,
about her being a Leo.
Leo, yeah, yeah,
And I'd just like to point out, when you
yeah,
first started, you were talking about, how you first started in this world, Leo King.
yeah. Ah,
And
yeah, my
in the next
mentor is a
stages of
Leo.
your own journey,
Yeah, that's
you've got you've got your own Leo mentor,
I need to mention that to her.
right?
I'll text her after this. Well,
Because
yeah,
I'm like,
so she's like
whoa,
the Leo queen.
that's right. There's your balance. And because
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, you loved him, you listened to him. I fucking know him because of you.
Mm,
And that was your intro in. And
yeah.
then Anna Lee, after you're doing your coaching and mentoring with her and the impact she's had on your life to help
Yeah.
open you up
Accelerate.
and
Yeah.
push you where you want to go and support you in it. I'm like, wow, how
Leos
interesting. Like
are,
Leo
yeah,
set the
play a big
foundation
part. Yeah.
and
And
now
it's
Anna
funny,
Lee has supported you on the
yeah,
nurturing journey.
it's funny because, like
Cool.
I always would think that like a Gemini kind of energy would not
Suit.
be a good, like kind of, fit for me because I'm a Capricorn. But, Shalina, our cousin, is a Gemini, and, like
Oh,
I
she's
can't
awesome.
imagine our lives without her. And so it's like just an interesting kind of thing where you have these stereotypes about star signs, as they say,
Yep.
and it doesn't matter what the star sign sort of says. It's all about the birth chart, and those connections that you have with somebody is based on all the other planets that are in your chart, like your Venus, and all of this kind of stuff is complementary to other people. So it's like, when you start to learn more about, and even like we could go into talking about the houses of
Oh
astrology.
yeah, this is where I get lost, man.
Yeah, like, there's
So
so
much
many
info.
layers. Yeah, so many layers. And then the degrees.
And then
There's
it changes every freaking day. Like,
yeah,
oh,
it's like there's all of these like
it's a
kind of
science.
fascinating things where it's like for people to just discount it and say it's bullshit, or it's not a real science or anything like that.
So
It's just
technical.
ignorant, it's really like ignorant to just discount this
Because you don't
ancient,
understand it.
like study practice. It's because like they just, I don't know. I mean, you could
Dismissive.
go into conspiracy theories about why they don't want you to take
Oh,
astrology seriously.
I
um
love my conspiracies,
yeah, there's
but
that
I
rabbit
don't align
hole.
to those ones
Yeah, so it's
for
like,
this.
if they it's like if people don't believe in something, it doesn't mean it's not real.
I just
It's
think,
just not for
you know,
you.
I love that you're like totally into this. Every time you talk about it, like you're, I know people can't see you yet. We'll do videos one day when we figure out how to
Mm,
do video ones, but like you just light up, like you glow, and you
yeah.
could like literally talk endlessly about it. So it's
Oh
super
yeah.
exciting to
And it's
hear
funny because
because
it's like
I
it
learn
really
heaps from
is.
you.
Yeah, it really is a topic that it really, I know that this wisdom is inside me, like that. I just
Hmm.
know certain things, like, a spiritual gift, or, stuff like that, where you
Hmm.
just know about yourself. I know that this is something that I am here to help people with and to understand. And, I just feel it is a connector for a lot of people to have happiness on in this earthly plane, like I really truly believe that. Same as like with human design. If you understand these blueprints of why you are the way that you are, you will have a happier life. Like I truly believe that. Because like when you talk about human design, that is similar to astrology. Like you still need the same information to get your human design chart. So Jody and I are both pure generators, and when you follow how your human design chart is and your astrology chart, it just
Hand in
tells
hand.
you, yeah, like this is how you can have a successful life here. And even, with your birth chart can actually tell you your purpose, why you're here. If you look at your midheaven and your north node, that's an indicator of stuff that will help make you successful in this lifetime. We're not all here to be famous. We're not all, our past life, we all weren't a king or Cleopatra or something. It's like, but all of this stuff is in the birth chart. So, like, for me, I just feel like if you're not looking at your birth chart, you're kind of missing a key to just being here and to living a happy life. And having good
It's kind of
relationships with people, I feel like that's an important thing. It's not just about you, but it's how you interact with other people.
for sure. It's kind of like, when we keep talking about, oh, you got to trust your own instincts, you got to listen to your inner wisdom.
Mm,
I feel like this is like a physical cheat sheet that goes alongside of it. It's like, okay, you can listen
100%.
to your own inner stuff, but here you go. Here's like an actual guideline
Because it's
of who you are
validation.
and how you are. Now use this alongside your inner wisdom to
And
go forth in the world and create what you need to
exactly. And it's like, it
with
can
other
help you
people as well.
find your career. It can help you like and in your
Mine's
day-to-day
spot on.
life. Yeah, in
Mine's
your
spot on.
day-to-day life, we talk about how you will feel that something is a bit weird, and you ask me like, what's going on in the stars, something feels a bit off.
Yeah, I'm like, what's
And
in the cosmos,
yeah,
Kel?
like
Come
if
on.
people just kind of knew, all right, well, today, for example, I mean, when this podcast comes out, it won't have been today, but today, Pluto has just moved into Aquarius, which is a massive deal because it's been in Capricorn for the last 20 years, so everything is going to be shifting. And because it's an outer planet, it means it's going to be a slow change, but over the next 20 years, like
Because
everything
that's
is
how
going
long
to
it takes,
change.
right? To cycle.
Yeah, exactly. So
20 years.
Aquarius is it's a sign of like humanity and technology, and so we can expect things like that to change in the next 20 years. So we're talking like AI and all of that kind of stuff. It's exciting just to see in a real world situation of how these planetary alignments are going to unfold in the real world.
Oh gosh,
So
is this the next 20 years
the
where we're going to be
beginning of the
seeing the
end.
consciousness taken out of souls and
Nah,
put into
I
computers and shit?
I
I'm not about
truly,
that.
yeah, I don't believe that's going to
I'm
happen.
not about that.
It's
I'm
not,
going to reject it if that
yeah,
happens because
I
my
don't,
soul
nah,
needs to stay in the cosmos, mate.
yeah, that won't happen. Like humans are too special, and that just won't happen. I don't,
That's where
they'll,
they're that's where the negative energies. Well, that could be
yeah,
our next topic, Kel. Like
yeah,
if we're going there, this is where it's been going. So it's like all the other low energy 3D and all the other stuff, like
yeah,
that's their
entities.
agendas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hence why we, the light
Light
workers, the
workers.
star seeds, the people of love and goodness, have to keep tapping into our inner stuff, share things, connect with each other to make that energy that you see in your grid work
Hmm.
keep rising so that that negative stuff can't penetrate.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with astrology is that because we can see it mapped out, we can
Yep,
prepare,
telling
like
you.
we know what's coming. Yeah.
My
So,
human design, like when obviously you'll put all your favorite people because I know you love Peace Dealer and Chad, and when you got your human design, like I got mine from the same, and my bottom line was worthiness. And
yeah.
I've always known that the self-worth, the self-love, that's what I've got to be healing. And it says it everywhere in all of my stuff. And I've known it intrinsically. And
Yeah.
when you just see it written, you're like, how the fuck do these fuckers know? And it's like,
But it's
oh,
not
it's
even
literally aligned
it's
in
not
the
how do
stars.
they know? It's you
It's
chose it.
I
Like
picked this.
you
I
chose
picked this
your birth.
lesson.
Yeah, you chose that birth chart. So it's like, that is why the lessons that your soul wanted to learn,
Yeah, stop
you
blaming others.
are
This is what you
playing
chose
it
to
out.
learn here.
Yeah, yeah,
I
exactly. So
know.
for me, it's
Super
funny
cool.
because like I am, I know that I'm here to help with the heart chakra and consciousness in the heart space and self-love and everything like that. So that stuff comes so easy to me.
Oh,
And, like just that self-love, and it's not even about ego. It's just like really deeply loving and appreciating who I am and helping people to do that too, because that's where we're going as a collective. It's all about moving into the 5D, which is a place of love. So it all starts with yourself, because what's on your inner world is reflected out,
on the
right?
outer. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
You
that's
heal
what I'm
yourself,
here
you're
for.
healing the world.
Yeah, is to like, help push that. And
I
so for
love it.
you, you just added an extra hurdle to get to that. You wanted a challenge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me please
Like
add
your
more
last
challenges.
your last past life was too easy. You want to go
Oh
up
yeah.
hard
It's like,
level.
oh, this is nothing. Give me
Yeah, yeah.
something
So
good.
I got
But
this.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
think
pretty
maybe
amazing.
you got a bit too cocky in the
Oh
Akashic
yeah,
records before you
clearly.
incarnated.
Oh,
You chose
oh,
all the
like
hard levels.
exactly. Like even though none of us want to go through the existential crises,
No. But then when you're on the
clearly
other
that's the
side,
only way we pivot and move
and
into
that's
the
the thing,
places we need to. So I'm glad that that happened for you and that you were actually here with me when all that was going down
Oh
because
yeah.
I got to learn so much. And then just obviously just to see your journey and how
Mm.
you can just rattle shit off the top of your head. I'm just like, mate, I'm still confused what fucking moon I am. Which, wait, let me just get it off my app. All I know is that I've got all three. I'm air,
Air,
so it's
air, air.
Libra. My moon is Aquarius, and then my rising is Gemini. And then you send me mad tidbits, and I learn heaps off you
Yeah.
all the time. And I
Yeah.
just know that there's changes.
And
I
your
just don't
whole
know
chart
how.
though is mostly air. Mine is mostly fire. Um, So it's
See, I
like,
stoke the fire with my air.
yeah,
Keep it
exactly.
glowing.
Blame each other, and it's like, yeah, keep it going.
I think it's amazing. Like I'm sure
I
you're
could
going to
talk,
put.
yeah, I could talk
I
forever
know.
about astrology. Like I'll have to
I
do
know.
another
We'll come back to it again,
episode.
of
I
course.
would want to talk more about human design too. I find like the both of them go hand in
We'll do
hand.
that one later.
And when
Like
you
maybe
have,
the next.
yeah, information about both, it's just like a cheat sheet for life. And I truly,
Oh,
like, deeply, I can't express it enough in my heart. I just know it would make people's lives easier when they understand their birth chart and their human design. Like, you'll just be
it's
a happier
awesome.
person, you
I'm
know?
gonna go reread mine again now. I'm inspired
Yeah, yeah.
because it is literally like a jog of the memory again.
Yeah, every
But
time when you reread it, you're just like, oh, that's right.
it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
worth the investment.
It's
I
fun.
don't reckon no question today. I reckon we should just say, hey, everyone, like you said, go put as much detail as you can into any of these birth chart apps or
Yeah.
websites that are out there. You can even
Astro.com.
do you can even do human design, like basic ones
Yeah.
for
Free
free.
charts. You can get free stuff everywhere.
It's, you can put your favorite TikTokers and
Yeah.
Instagram people in there because I know, like I said, I know all about your favorites at the minute. So you got to
Yeah.
share that love. But yeah, just
I mean, the question we could ask is like, what are your big three? Like let us know, and we could find,
and
our like
Kel will instantly know
if there's any
most things about you
twins,
then.
if you've got like the same as us,
Twinsies.
yeah, it's cool.
Any other three air people out there, hit us
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Let's
All
relate,
right.
internet.
Well, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Catch you on the flip side, pod peeps.
This podcast has been made with love from our hearts to your ears. Thank you for listening to Cosmic Connections 101.